Okay, guys, real estate agents, what we do is there's certain alarm bells that we watch in the market. One of them is the amount of stock in the market. We're going to teach you this morning how to monitor stock in your local market and what it means to your local market. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Billy Drury, the old man stuck in a young man's body. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, guys. Had a great weekend full of property. Some important observations as well. I logged on to realestate.com, went to do what I usually do every other week, see what the overall total number of listings live for the Northern Beaches is to report to the team. And out of nowhere, it's like boom, 28% dumped new listings. I'm like, oh my
in
god!
1 week?
It didn't happen quickly, but it happened suddenly. It felt like it came out of nowhere. So there was a 6 week
It sounds like when
gap
you make a baby.
yeah, there's 6 weeks, 43 days between really where all the stock came on. So 6 week period, and now we're going to break it down for you this morning as to what it means for you, what it means for the buyers and sellers. Also, is that normal for this time of year?
Yeah, look, I think you've got to now. It's basically, and guys, if you've got any comments, it's a live show. Pop your comments in, we'll answer them on the fly. But I do have to say this. You've got, if you want to be a ninja, first of all, you got to understand, is domain.com.au your core market in your area, or is realestate.com.au your core market in your area? Where does your core market go to? Do they use REA or domain? Our area, by a little bit, it's actually REA. So we like to know what is for sale and what is for rent total on the Northern Beaches in our area. The way we do that as agents, and the REA makes it hard to find or hard to do. So what you have to actually do is you've got to find out what your area is called. So, for instance, I'm not going to write DY, I'm not going to write Manly, I'm going to write Northern Beaches, because I know REA groups the Northern Beaches into 39 suburbs into that one search. So but I also don't do surrounding suburbs, because when I finish off at French's Forest, I don't want it to go into Forestville. I don't want it to go into Chatswood or those areas. So I don't. So yes, it's going to capture my suburb, my area. It's not going to capture any other area. So realestate.com. Search your suburb by. Search your suburb. Search your region. Unclick surrounding suburbs. Now here's the trick. It's going to bring a list of everything on the market. It won't give you a number. When you click map, on the bottom of the map, Billy, there it is there. When you click map, you'll get a number at the bottom, 979. So I would imagine in North Shore would have a search like this, Lower North Shore, Upper North Shore. I'd imagine Hunter region would have a search like this, Mid North Coast. You'd have to grab your whole region.
Thank you. Very, very detailed. But yeah, we follow this number as the metric to give insight to what the market's doing at any one time, because the stock levels don't lie. Auction clearance rates, they lie. So this number here is a very, very good indicator as to what's going on. And so, as I said, 28% since we last checked it 6 weeks ago was the biggest change I've seen in a very long time. Usually it fluctuates maybe 5-10%. That's considered a big change, because on 800 properties, where it's sort of normally sitting for most of the year, 700 to 800 properties, you're still swinging 70-80 properties. If it's 10%, it's quite a lot.
Okay, and just to be a bit global with people that are watching, when you know the float or how much sits on the market, then you know how the market's going. So I think it's a
Yeah.
little bit like a cash till, right? You know, a till, like you can imagine working in a convenience store. If your till is bloating out, you know, there's 10 grand in there, that's a lot. If your till is skinny, then that's not a lot. What does that mean to us? That 979 that you can see there on our till, or in our brain, our float, that's actually a big number. When it gets to 1200, 1300, that's a shit ton of properties on the marketplace. When it gets down to 500 or 400, that's not a lot of property on the northern beaches on the marketplace, and anywhere in between. So this year it's been sitting around 6 or 700.
Yeah. And this is the most it's been all year. So if you're a buyer in the marketplace, now is a fantastic time to be buying. It's the most choice you've had all year. And don't kid yourself, this number only goes down between now and Christmas. There's not many more listing weeks of the year. Most owners, if they're in it thinking of selling, will be doing it now, between now and mid-November. Once you start pushing early December, it's not logical to be launching campaigns, whether it be a 4-week auction or brokers, solicitors, and everyone around them, their sort of team that's in their corner helping them list and sell tends to start quieting down for the year. So this will pretty much year on year average half from the whatever the number is at the peak of spring to Christmas. It usually halves to give you an average.
So, guys, if you just tuned in, we're talking about how to read stock in your market and how to interpret that to how your market's going in your local area. Billy, this has happened later than we expected. Are there any reasons for that? You know, because normally there's this level of increase of stock happens, you know, just before spring starts or just after spring starts. This is a late coming.
Yeah, we can put it down to maybe a couple of reasons. Reason number one, there was some big first home buyer policy changes you would have seen in the news regarding first home buyers having access to a 5% deposit up to $1.5 million. That is majority of the stock on the northern beaches for the strata title space. Additionally, when you look at that map, you can see the stock clusters in two halves. Half of the stock is far north of Warriewood, everything from Mona Vale upwards towards Palm Beach, Avalon. And then the other half is south from sort of Narrabeen through to Manly. That's mostly units. The stuff north, that tends to sit on the market a little bit longer. Takes a little bit longer to sell. So that's why you're seeing that cluster in two groups.
We've got little micro markets even in the beaches, which is interesting. Now, if I'm a buyer, well done, congratulations. You have more stock, more selection than you have had the whole year. So I know the government talks about low stock, low stock.
Yeah.
We're seeing high stock, high stock.
Yeah, I mean, it's not high, but it's definitely more than what there has been all year.
So if you're a seller, would you not sell because of the stock levels that are on the market now?
I think there'll be a lot more coming on in the new year. We are doing a lot of appraisals between the team. A lot of people are in research phase for the new year, and there's possibly another rate cut coming. So buyers and sellers, if you're transacting in the same market, that is the insurance against the market moving on you. And that would be my strong recommendation. Whatever you are planning, try and do it in the same market, because where a market can move 5% at $1 million, it's a lot more money than you can ever save in the same time frame.
It's probably good news if these rates come down, and I think there's a damn good chance the rates are going to come down. We'll know that in the next week or two with that rate announcement. These amount of stock levels that are on the market at the moment could be great. So yes, there's a bit more stock on the market, but it will be met with rate reductions. So, and don't forget on what I'm starting to see, Billy, and if you think it's a farce, the buying under 1.55%. Did it explode? No. Is it helping the marketplace and buyers down market? Your opinion?
I think it's helping the first wave of people that are ready to go. The general consensus is that it's not helped the people that want to be helped, because to borrow $1.5 million with a 5% deposit, you need a household income of 250 grand. There's not many people that have 250 grand salary and struggle saving for a deposit. So the general consensus is it's added fuel to a fire that was already quite hot at quite an aggressive price point. It's only made that trickier. But for people that were ready to go and access the 5% deposit scheme, great, they've snapped it up. And for people who haven't, I think they're going to pay more for prices in the next 6 to 12 months.
And also, I do have to say, what you said about income just then, I think it's going to be very interesting, because there's talk about bringing in a 40-year home loan product instead of a 30-year home loan product. And I think that can change that 250K income that you spoke about. That can actually really, really chisel that down for first home buyers. That may be a good move.
That's another topic. 40-year home loans. We'll bring that to you maybe tomorrow or another time.
It's a cracker. Billy, thank you.
Have a great day. That is
Have a
Northern
great
Beaches.
day, everyone. Yeah, exciting. All right. Have a great day, guys.
See you later.
Thanks. Love you. See you. Bye.